call the meeting to order, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Mayor Kratzky, I am present. Groko?
Present.
Hufall is absent tonight. Padilla is also absent. Rose
Present.
and Eager.
Here.
Okay, any changes for the agenda tonight?
No.
Okay, then I will take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion from Eager. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Rose. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Comments, updates, concerns. Do we have any citizens here that would like to speak about items that are not on the agenda? Okay, moving on to any updates from council members. City staff, any updates?
Just wanted to share, from going back to our December 3rd council meeting, when we were talking about fire department wages, we did follow up with the city of Winthrop. Since there was some misinformation that was provided from Winthrop to the city council. The fire chief there actually makes $3,000 per year versus $2,000, so just wanted to clarify that, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from city staff? Okay, then moving on to the consent agenda. There's lots of meeting minutes in there and other things, and I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion from Eager. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Groko. Any questions or discussion about the items on the consent agenda? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. We have a public hearing at 7 that we will come back to. So we'll move on to communication requests and petitions. There's information about a permit to carry class coming up in Glencoe, hot cocoa bar, an adult craft night at the library, a food pantry at the library, Gaylord's body cam audit from the police department, and Emmanuel Lutheran Church's upcoming pancake breakfast. Next, under department and committee reports and action items, the first is Public Works. So we'll invite Ty up to give us some updates and information.
Good evening. What I have for you tonight is the purchase of a used truck for this year. This is from the 801 fund, so it was a scheduled thing. We have $33,000 available. We don't buy a new truck because they're just too expensive. We can buy a good quality used truck. We would be replacing the 2010 Ford F-250. In the past two truck purchases, the council's given permission to go ahead with a purchase if we find a suitable vehicle. That way we don't have to come to the council, and usually the vehicle's gone the way used vehicles are going. So this is something we would like to continue to do with this one. After the purchase, the old truck would be sold on min bid after, for the highest purchase. I'm guessing it's probably worth $3,000.
So then that 3,000 would go towards the truck as well, right?
Steve, I'm sure
We just put it right in the 801 fund, so where the money's coming out to purchase it, go right back in.
I guess my question is so 33,000 is what you think it'll cost to get a truck, or are you thinking it'll cost 36?
It'll be close. The purchase might be tax title license, might be go over a little over 33, but it won't be much. And that we can actually take a little bit out of our water and sewer repair fund to make up for.
It sounds like you have one already picked out.
We kind of looked today to see what was out there, and there are a couple of them that should make it under the 33 pretty easy. So.
Are we having issues with the truck? Can it make one more year, or does it have to be this year?
It's not in great
I'm
shape.
asking.
It's not in great shape. It used to be Layton's truck. The check engine lights has been on it, I think, since you've owned it. We've tried to fix it several times.
Yeah.
Seat's about gone, steering wheel's about gone. The bottom of the bed, the supports are all rotted out.
Okay, I was just
Yeah,
making
it's-
sure we,
Yeah.
because Steve doesn't say anything.
It's time, yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely time,
Yeah.
so,
It looks fine up close, or, until you get up close to it, then it.
yeah, it's, yeah.
Then the engine, I mean, we had that problems with it back when I had it,
Yeah.
where if you try to go over 20 miles an hour, it just shook and, yeah.
A lot of
I know what he's
a
talking
lot of that
about.
problems, those trucks get driven, alls they get is driven in town, they don't get any highway miles, so they just collect a lot of crap, so.
So would this be a 3/4 ton then, or a half ton? or-
Half ton.
Okay,
Yep.
probably a
We had
Ford.
talked about that, because the only real heavy thing we have to pull is the jetter. And I can actually, my truck I can pull with and Tom's, we both have the little V6. And that'll actually pull that jetter around town pretty easy, so.
And I assume you'll probably stick with Fords then, just to keep them all the
It's
same?
gonna
or
be a Chevy this time.
Is there a reason for having a different truck? I only ask because it, when they're all the same, it looks nice and uniform.
It'll be
and-
silver still, but it'll be a Chevy. The operator wants a Chevy. I'm like, it's kind of up to him. And I say, you're gonna be the one driving it for the next 15 years, so. That's what he chooses. or
Is there a cost difference between Chevy and Ford?
Not really. They're about the same. The harder part is actually getting extended cab trucks, because the guys don't want crew cabs. They want the cab, basically a cab and a half, and those are what's hard to find, because everybody wants a crew cab, and they're kind of difficult to find extended cab. You can get them for a good price for that reason, that's why, because nobody really wants an extended cab anymore, so.
My thought would be keeping the same, but that way it just looks the same, the trucks look nice, same parts.
I don't have a strong opinion about that.
I thought
Me
Chevy
either.
was more expensive than Ford nowadays.
It depends on, there's so many options nowadays that
Yeah,
you can
they're
take
all-
the exact same trucks, but add 2 different options on either one of them, and there's 30 grand difference, it seems like.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter to me.
So tonight, we're looking for a motion to approve the purchase of a used pickup truck at a cost not to exceed $33,000.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Groko. Do we have a second?
Second?
Seconded by Eker. Any further discussion or questions? Not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried.
That's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
Police Department, we have Chief Eichten here to talk with us about a couple issues.
Evening, everyone. First item would be the potentially dangerous dog appeal. The dog owners are here. The other party apparently did not show up tonight, so. But basically, what we're here for tonight is Gaylord PD responded to a complaint of a dog bite back in October. Investigation determined that a 10-year-old boy was outside, I believe, playing with the neighbor kids. The dogs accidentally got out, approached the 10-year-old boy. The boy reported that the smaller dog was biting at his shoes. He ran away. The big dog then chased after him and ended up biting his thigh. Little puncture wound in the leg. So the big dog got served with potentially dangerous dog paperwork. The owners did not challenge that. The owner, or the father of the boy, through emails, was making us think that the smaller dog should be labeled as potentially dangerous as well. Initially, we thought the dog was going to be moved. Apparently, there's some miscommunication there. We eventually gave the dog owners potentially dangerous dog paperwork for their smaller dog then. In that paperwork, they can appeal that if they so choose, and they are here tonight to appeal the potentially dangerous dog designation for their smaller dog. So basically, the reason I did that was our ordinance, it's 2 parts. It says that an animal, when unprovoked, chases or approaches a person upon the street, sidewalks, or any public property in an apparent attitude of attack, and or has engaged in unprovoked attacks, causing injury or otherwise threatening the safety of humans or domestic animals. So again, it was reported that the boy said the smaller dog came at him first, was biting at his shoes, caused him to run away, which is when the big dog got him. So I guess the council tonight needs to decide if the smaller dog should be labeled as potentially dangerous as well, or I guess not. Again, the dog owners are here to, I guess, plead their case, and the other family is not here.
Just to be clear, the big dog is already labeled potentially
Yeah, they
dangerous.
did
That's-
not contest
yeah,
that.
okay.
Correct,
It's just the small one. Okay.
correct.
And so then you just have the proof from, I'm assuming you have pictures and stuff of the bite from the bigger dog.
Correct.
But is there camera footage or anything that necessarily, I'm just asking what the proof or, I guess, what, to say
No,
the
it's,
smaller
I guess
dog.
basically just the 10-year-old boy's word.
Okay.
I think obviously there's a problem with the big dog, and that's already been labeled. I guess my thinking with a small dog, and kids play, and the dog wants to play, and it's a small dog and it bites at your shoes, is that dangerous?
I don't know, it could scare a 10-year-old kid apparently.
Well, the big dog bit the 10-year-old kid, though.
Plus, the smaller dog was chewing at him.
And I get, I guess at the end of the day though, I mean, obviously the big dogs bit the kid, but I
Right.
mean, to prove the other one did too, I just don't wanna, I don't have proof to say that that's what, not saying the kid lied or anything, but just, you know, you have a bite on the bigger dog.
Well, you have a bite, yeah.
Just wait,
Yeah.
we're gonna let our city attorney speak quick.
Sorry, so I mean, if we're jumping into the hearing right now, there's an order and a process for this, and officer will be able to present his evidence, and we'll be able to have the other party step up and present their evidence at a certain time. I guess I leave it up to the council. Are we willing to address this now, or are we going to wait until 7 o'clock?
7.
Okay, then I think it perhaps maybe is a
Well,
little bit more
let me back up.
appropriate to.
Wait.
This isn't a public hearing, it's, where we have to advertise and go through the hearing process. Theirs is a hearing, just, we call it a hearing, but we don't have to necessarily follow the rules of a hearing, where we have to wait till 7 o'clock, for example. So we
Correct.
can go ahead and hold this right now, and,
I just want to make
continue
sure that we're,
yeah, I would suggest we just keep moving ahead here and probably invite the owners of the dog up.
Is that how we did it with the last?
Yes.
Yes, I believe, I think Mark kind of has guided these in the past, like, please present, and then the dog owners present, so. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Charlie?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so we can invite the dog owners to come up, tell your, share what information you want to share. Ask that you keep it, give us all the information, but keep it concise.
Hi, I'm Tracy. This is my husband, Jesus. So that day that it happened, neither of us were at home. I work at the hospital here. And I got a call from my daughter. She said that the dogs got out, and she didn't say anything about the little dog biting. She just said, because I heard the ambulance paged out, that our bigger dog nipped at his leg, which was proof of that. So we didn't fight that. But there was no video surveillance at our house. There's no police. Our neighbor didn't have anything. The police report never got anything from our children. They just got report from the 10-year-old boy next door, even though he was on our property with our kids playing. She's an 8-pound dog. We've lived here for 3 years, and we've never had an issue until this.
Well, she's a small dog. She's an ankle biter, if you call it that. She's just a little dog. She's very defensive, like every other little dog that most Americans have in their household. She's not aggressive. She's aggressive just to bark and bite. See people like
She doesn't bite.
She barks at little birds. And when the other dog supposedly bit, he nipped at the kid. He never really bit him. But
He's a Rottweiler, so if he really wanted to hurt him, he would have hurt him. But we just let that one go. But with her, there is no evidence there's nothing except for what a 10-year-old boy said. They didn't even get report from
his
my
kid-
children.
His kids always welcome to play in our yard. They play football in the summer, toss the ball. We got a air up castle where they come jump. They play all the time. They do bonfires. They come eat with us, and I don't know what happened, but it was something that happened with the little dog, I guess. But now we have a situation.
So,
She's no danger to nobody.
What kind of dog is the little one?
she's
like
a mini,
just trying to get the
mini
size.
poodle Pomeranian.
She's like
mix.
six,
So just
between
like a-
6 and 8 pounds. She's small.
Yeah, she's a little black.
She has an
dog.
underbite, so she'll never really get one. She can't even chew it. She can't even chew a toasted bread. So
Yeah. That's all we have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have questions for the Solomons? Okay,
No.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, Matt, now should we proceed?
Okay. Well, if there's no further evidence from either party at this time, then we are going to have to make our decision here based upon the preponderance of the evidence. And so, to kind of clarify that, what that means is that you believe that the incident more likely occurred than did not. That is to say, you are more than 50% certain that the effects alleged by Chief Iken actually did happen. And again, just for everybody's understanding here, this is in reference to the Gaylord City Ordinance 90-11. It defines potentially dangerous animal as one which has bitten a human or domestic animal on public or private property, or when unprovoked, chased, or approached a person upon the streets, sidewalk, or any public property in an apparent attitude of attack, or has engaged in unprovoked attacks causing injury or otherwise threatening the safety of humans or domestic animals. Term unprovoked means any condition in which the animal is not purposely excited, stimulated, agitated, or disturbed. So it is now on the city to make a determination based upon the preponderance of the evidence, whether or not this dog should be labeled as potentially dangerous, based upon the behavior that you have heard here.
I guess I just struggle to see evidence on the smaller one. I mean, who's to say the dog came up to him and, was barking, but that's what I mean. I mean, obviously there's a bite mark on a bigger dog.
I think where I struggle back and forth is like, I'm a dog owner, love dogs, and loose dogs in our town can be a problem. I know sometimes they get out accidentally, sometimes mine have gone out accidentally too. But with a small dog like that, was it plain? Was it angry? But sometimes like the behavior of one dog can set off the behavior of another dog, because they're pack animals. So I guess that's where I struggle with is like, is biting at shoes an aggressive or is it playful? But that being said, it also may have contributed to the bigger dog getting upset. Just my random thoughts for the night.
I think I struggle with it as well. Just, like I said, biting at my shoes. And I understand that the child that got bitten, the 10-year-old, is upset. And so what he recollects and how he sees it might not be exactly the way it went down either.
Obviously, it's a tough deal. I mean, obviously, if it as a kid, that could probably seem a little daunting. I get that, but it's just the evidence, which I think is what we come up with, and so I guess for that reason, I just don't see us sustaining it. Do you need a motion?
Yeah, so has the city council here reached a decision? One or the other? Okay, then I think motion for it.
I'll make a motion for option 2, not to sustain the potentially dangerous dog on the smaller animal.
I'll second it.
A motion by Rose, seconded by Groko. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Obviously, it's a lesson learned though, so I'm just going forward. Animals in town and it's part of the responsibility, so.
Do everything in your power to keep it from happening again, so we appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we have 6 minutes yet. Charlie, you can come back up. You've got 6 minutes before we have to start our public hearing.
All right, I think we can do this in 6 minutes.
Okay,
The second item tonight is, purchase of a new squad car. Proposed is replace the 2022 squad car, which has approximately 81,000 miles on it. If we place an order, it takes about 8 to 12 weeks to get it. Our capital outlay has us due to receive a new squad car in 2026. The great news is if we trade it off to Guardian, who's installed our last 3 squad cars, if we give it to them before it hits 90,000 miles, they'll give us $18,000 for our old squad car, which is pretty significant. I think the last time we got about $5,000 for the last squad car we traded in, so it's almost, 4 times that amount. So the 1040 Ford out of St. Cloud has the state bid for police squad cars, which is the $42,776. Again, Guardian, which has done our installs, is approximately $20,000 minus $18,000 if we, give them our old squad car. So that's about $2,000. So total for a brand new squad car with the state bid price to get it outfitted is roughly $87.63. We get the money from the state aid money fund from the state to purchase these squad cars. Speaking with Steve before the meeting, we figure we have roughly $180,000 to $190,000 in there. And we're looking at about $45,000 to get the new squad car. Any questions on any of that?
I assume you'd go with the same decal and everything?
Yeah.
That's not changing?
Yep.
okay. No one has questions. We need a motion to approve the purchase of a 2026 Ford Explorer from Ford for $42,776.44, and use Guardian to trade in our 2022 Ford Explorer and install equipment in the new squad. I think there's a typo in our packet. It says $2,011, but I think it's supposed to be $20,000.
Well, I took the 18 off of that.
Oh, got it.
So depending on how you want to look at it, yeah.
Okay, and install equipment for about $2,000. Someone like to make that motion?
So moved.
We have a motion from Eker. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Groko. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Fire department, you need more than 3 minutes? Yep. Okay, I'll let you go before our public hearing then.
Evening, council. It's that time of the year, and we got to appoint officers, and coming to you with the what got voted on down at the fire department for the year 2026. Fire chief, myself, at a wage of $2,500. Assistant fire chief Andrew Trout, who's here, it's $1,300. Secretary Nate Eker for $1,000. Treasurer Derek Hahn for $1,000. Then the other 2 wages that are not on here that are considered appointments is our caretakers for the trucks, which is Lucas Messner and Justin Reich. That'll be at $1,150. And then the caretaker for the air packs, batteries, and all that stuff for our fire halls, Terry Polk, and that'll be at $850 for the year of 2026. So what I'm looking for is the approval of those positions.
So moved.
A motion from Eker. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Groko. Any discussion or questions, comments? Do we have enough to have a
You have a quorum.
Yes,
So you're
okay.
okay.
So we're good even if Rose
Even if I,
abstains?
Right,
Okay.
even if he abstains.
thanks for,
Okay.
I was gonna ask that.
Okay, sorry, it just dawned on me. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no,
I abstain.
and Rose abstained. Okay,
Thank
motion
you.
carried.
Any other questions for us from anyone? All right, thank you.
Tonight, thank you very much.
That's 2 minutes. Not too
Yeah,
bad.
that was really, really quick.
You think Justin can get it done in 1 minute? Oh, darn it. That'd been nice.
Yeah, it would.
We'll give you a minute 30. No, I'm kidding.
Sure,
Oh,
go ahead. It's just a supplement letter.
yeah, if you want
Oh,
to do it quick
sure.
before a public hearing, go ahead.
Just by way of introduction, Justin Black, city engineer. In front of the council tonight is our 2026 letter agreement for professional services. This is for our general city engineering services. In the letter, in the packet, we outline some of the things that we do for the city over the course of the year: permit reviews, project cost estimates, agency coordination, more of the day-to-day general engineering services. The last number of years, we've had a fee amount of $20,000, and we've come under budget on that the last couple of years. This year, we were about $7,500 under budget. So we try to be conscientious of the time we spend and work closely with Steve on that. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, the motion would be to approve the agreement and so not to exceed $20,000.
So moved.
Motion for Meeker. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Rose. Any questions for Justin or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
It's a 7 o'clock on the dot, so we will go back to
I
our
think you'd actually come do it.
public hearing and about the vacation of Tower Street. Which is on page 43 of our agenda. So tonight's public hearing, the city will explain. I'll open the public hearing. We'll have staff explain or present on the issue. If there's any questions from the city staff and council, we'll take those. Then there is a section for public comment. So if anyone's here from the public to comment, we will let you have that opportunity to speak. So that being said, I will open the public hearing and turn it over to you. Turn it over to Steve.
Thank you. So going back to November 19th was the council set this public hearing for this evening to consider the vacation of Tower Street. By law, there are some specific things that we are required to do a little bit more above and beyond the normal hearing requirements, which we did accomplish and complete. We were required to provide written notice to all the property owners. In this case, MG Wallbound Company is the only property owner that abuts Tower Street out there. But we also did provide notice to Excel Energy and CenterPoint Energy. Excel, as you know, has a substation out there, and they have other electrical connections to that substation along the right-of-way of Tower Street. I did, like I mentioned, contact CenterPoint Energy. They did respond that they do not have any facilities in the vacation area, basically the Tower Street area, and they have no issues with the proposed vacation of Tower Street. So we also had to advertise in the newspaper, which we did. So we followed all those things. Part of the notices did include a copy of the proposed resolution this evening. That had to be included as well with the letters. We have talked a little bit about this, starting going back to 2024, 2023, when we were planning for the reconstruction of Tower Street, which was completed in 2024. It was discussed at that particular time about the potential to vacate the street, primarily because it's really not utilized by the public. It's utilized by Michael Foos solely. There are some public traffic on there. I mean, the city has to go out there for its water tower. We also do have some water and sewer that runs parallel with Tower Street on the west side of the street. So we do have that to maintain as well. And then, of course, Excel Energy has their substation. Outside of that, there really is not much else for traffic that's not associated with Michael Foods. They utilize the road, as you're probably aware, for their employees, contractors, et cetera. Their feed mill goes out there, so they do have a lot of truck traffic, but it's all associated with their business out there. The road, again, has been totally reconstructed. Generally speaking, that is the time when if you're going to be looking at vacating a road, that is the best scenario. We're basically would be vacating the road, and so the property owners that abut it, again, Michael Foods, would basically inherit that road. That would be private, it'll be a private road at that point. We would still have our access through public easements for, again, the water tower and our water and sewer. Excel would have its own easements for access and maintenance of its facilities as well. In your packet, there is, as prepared by SEH, a legal description for the roadway itself. So that's also identified in the proposed resolution. And then there's also an aerial photo identifying Tower Street out there. So again, this is a public hearing, and so notices have been provided. Centerpoint was the only party that was provided specific or direct notice to that responded. I did not hear back personally from MG Walbaum or from Excel Energy, though I do know, Excel, I did talk to them several months ago about this, and they are aware of what we're proposing to do. So again, notices were sent out. So at this point, I guess I will open up to any questions from me, from the council at this point in time.
Questions? No, we've talked about this for a while, so
I don't know if,
it kind of makes sense. Are you here for the public hearing? I am, yeah. Okay, would you like to speak?
I can probably send a follow-up email with just some questions. So I'm the plant manager at Michael Foods.
Okay,
My name's Jake Anderson. I haven't met you guys.
nice to meet you.
I guess my questions would only be like around maintenance, the length that I can assume that the road is good for based on the bill that you guys had, just so I can start planning out a little bit farther.
Sure, and we can communicate with that. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, but otherwise,
Okay,
makes sense.
okay. So at this point, I'll take a motion to close the hearing if there's nothing else.
So moved.
Motion from Eker, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Groko, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carried. Okay, so we can jump ahead then, or back to the new business. In our packet, we have resolution 2026-01 vacating Tower Street.
So I guess I want to point out the primary reasons for this vacation. We state here that Tower Street is no longer needed for public access or circulation, and Tower Street is predominantly utilized by Michael Foods for its operations, which includes use by its employees, suppliers, contractors, etc.
So we need a motion to approve resolution 2026-01, a resolution vacating Tower Street.
so move.
We have a motion from Rose. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eker. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay, moving on to 11B, we have resolution 2026-2 relating to the organization of the city of Gaylord.
So each year, we're required to do certain housekeeping items, such as approving or designating our official depositories, our investment brokers, that's included in that, and then some official positions of the council. We identified Dawn as the mayor, Jessica as the council president, myself as the administrator, and Lori Waltz as the city clerk finance officer, excuse me. We also designate the Gaylord Hub as our official newspaper. And then also Jessica is recognized as our acting mayor in Dawn's absence.
Any questions? Not, we are looking for a motion to approve resolution number 2026-2, a resolution relating to the organization of the city of Gaylord.
So moved.
We have a motion from Groko. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Rose. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Moving on to 11C, we have resolution 2026-3, establishing regular meetings of the city of Gaylord Council for 2026.
As per our city charter, we are required to identify when our regular meetings are going to be held each year. In the past, the first and third Wednesdays at 6:30 PM here have been our regular scheduled meetings. Propose is continue that same schedule. Then we also have included in this resolution any meetings that we are going to cancel. Going by past history, we'd be looking at canceling the second meeting this month, which falls on the 21st, and then also the July 1st meeting, and a second meeting in December, which would be December 16th this year. We also have a conflict with another meeting coming up in February, which falls on the 18th, which this year is Ash Wednesday. We had the same conflict last year as well. So I put in there a couple possible dates. It would be the same week on Tuesday or Thursday versus Wednesday.
Which month is that?
February.
February.
President's Day week.
Do we need to have, can we just, will we need to have a meeting that month? Maybe just have one?
Last year, we did cancel it for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Could we plan it and then change it in February?
If we need to add the meeting, we can.
Sure. I mean, it puts a little more pressure on staff, and that you can anticipate a lengthier meeting on February 4th because of it.
That's fine.
Is everyone okay with that?
So we'd be canceling that one?
Okay.
So you need to add that to the resolution under
Okay.
item number 3 there, that date as well.
So is the consensus to cancel the second February meeting?
Yeah,
Good with
unless
that?
it's
Okay.
needed.
So we just need a motion to approve resolution 2026-3, establishing regular meetings for the Gaylord City Council for 2026. Including that motion would be to cancel the second regularly scheduled meeting in February.
So moved.
We have a motion from Eker. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Rose. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Moving on to 11D, we have resolution 2026-4, amending the 2025 fee schedule for the city of Gaylord.
Okay, so at the December 3rd meeting, the council did talk about these proposed changes. I'm not going to go through all those. I'm going to mainly focus on the water, sewer, and storm sewer. At that meeting, the council did consent to increasing the rates, specifically for water, 3%, sewer, 5%, and for storm sewer, 5.5%. That's the same amount that was done the previous year in 2025. In addition, the council talked about establishing a new tier structure for the water rates, similar to our sewer rates. So basically setting up a 4-tier system they would have different rates. Basically, the rates would increase with the amount of usage in gallons of water. So 0 to 10,000 gallons would be, this is incorporating the 3% increase in there, so it'd be $2.48 per thousand. And then from 10,000 to 20,000 would be $2.67, 20 to 40, $2.87, and over 40,000, $3.09. So basically, if you're a customer who's uses 20,000 gallons in a month, the first 10,000 would be charged at one single rate, and the next 10,000 would be charged at a different rate. And that's how we would do it going up the scale. So as the council consented to last meeting, it's a 7.5% difference between the tiers. That's what was agreed to. The only other item that I recall that the council had question about was in respect to the police department, if you don't mind me just jumping to that. This is in reference to the body-worn camera video. There was a question about if we were going to be leaving the fee at $35. I think it was Tony that brought it up, that, you know, if you're looking to just pull 15 minutes out of a video, It could be a lot more time involved in that. Mark had done some research, and we basically can't set up a fee for the amount of time that an officer would spend on that, but you can take that into reasonable consideration when establishing the fee. So when talking with Mark, he felt $50 would be significant, or would be okay. And I talked to Charlie about this too. The rest of them, I don't believe there was any questions about as far as the proposals. They were fairly minor in nature.
Has anyone responded to the letters you sent out about the tiered water?
There was a call from somebody associated with Michael Foods last week. I was gone out of the office. The person didn't leave me a voice message or an email. I never received anything, so I'm assuming that's what they were calling about.
Jake was just here too.
Yeah. Jake, Leighton and I met with Jake last month, and we did inform him of this at that time as well. I did send him, gave him a copy of the letter that was sent to MG Walbaum. So again, we did send out the letters, as you said, stated, and the letters are included in the packet there.
I let Steve know this earlier, but I just got an email from a citizen just concerned about singling, or I don't want to say singling out Michael Foods, that's not how it was worded, but just the impact to them when they've invested a lot into our communities. I just wanted to make sure, like, if they want to talk about it, you know, let's give them that opportunity.
And that's very possible that they may come back at a later date here.
Once they get the water bill.
Right.
Yeah,
So our, as you know, our billing is always for the past month. So
Sure.
January's billing that's going out here, or has gone out, is December's usage. So the new rates would not be impacted on your bill until February. If you approve this, that is.
Sure. Okay. Anything else on that? Otherwise, we need a motion to approve Resolution 2026-4, a resolution amending the 2025 fee schedule for the city of Gaylord.
So move.
We have a motion from Rose. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Groko. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Next, we have resolution, no, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. 11E, 2026 annual appointments for 2026. You'll see all the appointments for our different boards and committees. There are very few changes this year, so I just want to thank everyone again who's willing to keep doing the work on behalf of the city. Nothing with the council changed as far as your appointments. So if everyone's okay with it, we need a motion to approve the 2026 annual appointments.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Groko, seconded by Eker. Any questions about the appointments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carried. Moving on to 11F, we have resolution number 2026-5, implementing the 2026 employee compensation.
So the proposed wages for 2026 here are based on, the council had, by approving the budget, they had approved a 3% COLA increase. There were very few, there was a couple employees that did receive a step increase. They were still entitled to one, as you recall from our salary chart. It maxes out at step 6. There's only a couple employees left, full-time employees that haven't maxed out yet. But also for the police department, per the contract, they receive a 2.5% COLA increase, so that was adjusted for the police officers that are in the union. I also want to mention that per Minnesota statute or law, the minimum wage did increase effective January 1st to $11.41. So our salary chart for our grade 1 was adjusted accordingly. So step 1 is now $11.41. We were a couple dollars less than that last year, approximately. So the salary chart I put on your table for both the police and all the rest of the employees there. So with that, if there's any questions?
Any questions about the employee compensation?
Just a question, I know we had talked about the union. Do the police officers still want to continue with that, or how?
Continue, pardon me,
With having a union?
Yeah.
having a union?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have not received anything to the different,
Okay.
nobody from the union has reached out to me at this point in time.
Well, I just mean with the police officers, do they feel they still need a union?
I haven't asked them that direct question.
Oh,
I don't know if,
because I know that all those other issues are gone now, so I was just asking if they feel they're still getting benefit for paying their dues.
I mean, it's a kind of sensitive question, I think, to ask them.
Okay.
We will probably learn more in the future here, because this is the last year on our contract. And so they would be providing us notice for renegotiation if they're so choosing to continue on with it.
It'd have to be up to them if they.
Right,
yeah.
no, I understand.
Right. There's no other questions. We need a motion to approve resolution number 2026-05, a resolution implementing the 2026 employee compensation.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion from Groko. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eker. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is 11G, contracts expiring in 2026.
In the past, the council's asked me to bring this forward in advance of when these contracts are due to expire. So specifically in light of one of them that's early in the year, I wanted to bring this forward at this particular meeting. Our contract with 101 Development Resources for building official services, that's currently a 3-year contract. It expires on April 5th of this year. So basically, my question in regards to that is, do you want me to solicit just a quote from 101 Development Resources, or do you want me to go out and try to solicit from other building official companies? I did, just a refresher here, or an update from the last time we did this renewal. The council did direct me to go out and try to solicit from others. Unfortunately, I was not able to get any other ones that were interested in that at that time. I did receive, after the action of the council to enter the new contract, I did get contacted by another company at that point, and they expressed an interest in the future of submitting a quote to the city. So I guess I haven't reached out to that company for some time or talked to them, so I'm not sure if they're still interested, but they were interested.
I think it's worth it to reach out to them, reach out to 101 Development and whoever this other company is.
I guess, yeah. I'd like to just stick with 101. They're local, they've done good in town. You know, instead of wasting time looking around, I guess would be my thought. I mean, are you looking for a lower bid possibly, or, I mean, what?
I think yeah.
Well,
I think that's a good, it's responsible to try to get more than one bid whenever we can.
I get that. 101's just right out of Arlington though, you know, so it's kind of supporting local too. I think Darren's treated the city pretty good. That's just my opinion though. I've worked with them on a number of projects, and I know contractors in town really like them too, so. I just don't know if just to waste Steve could be doing something else instead of going through that work too, and then you spend that money too. But, again, just my thought.
What are other people's thoughts?
I don't know, I thought the last time we talked about it, it was said that since it was him in this area, that they kind of wouldn't come here because he's already in this area. But I don't remember last time when I brought it up, and when we talked, not I brought it up, but we talked about it last year. And I thought you said other people wouldn't come to this area because he's here.
There was a couple of them that I did approach. I think one was just getting ready to retire, and I contracted Metro West, and this was a little far out of their territory. At the time, they were serving Norwood Young America, Darren is now serving Norwood Young America. But they weren't willing to come out this far. Minspec was the other company that's the one I guess I was referring to. They're out of Waconia, and they expressed an interest. I don't know who else is in the area.
What was the name of the company that we had so much issues with?
That was Minspec, if that was.
Minspec, yeah. We had too many issues with them.
I mean, if you guys want, if we want to get a second bid, that's fine. I just, like I said, at the end of the day, I guess I'd rather just, one-on-one's been good, and he's in the area and supports, he's a local business, so. At the end of the day, I just don't want to waste the time, unless it's going to be a huge difference if we're going to end up with one-on-one anyways.
I just don't think it doesn't hurt to get information.
I know that, but we had a lot of issues with
And
them.
that's the same one?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So I just say we stay with one-on-one.
The options will be limited. Based on my last
I
time
know.
around, it's going to be very limited as far as who's willing. I mean, we might have two, and the two we're already talking about, that'll be it.
Yeah.
Darren has a pretty good, he does a lot of business around the area here, number of cities.
Lynn?
I know, it's like,
You're going to break the tie here, so.
No, because
Well-
you both agree that we should just stay with one-on-one.
Me and you.
Instead-
so
Yeah.
that that would be it, even if I say no. We would stay with one.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Dawn
I guess
can
I
have
was-
an
I was
opinion,
thinking-
but
I
she
was
don't
counting-
get a vote.
But
I was counting
I have
Don's
no
opinion.
past experience in inspec, but also part of me still wonders, like, has their management changed, has anything, I mean, how long ago was this?
I don't know. All I know is we were getting complaints after complaints after complaints. We don't hear nothing about Darren. Let's,
I mean,
Okay
we,
with
I
that
mean,
too.
always we should go out for bids with engineering. And I mean, we have Justin come back and,
yeah.
Justin's treated us pretty good, and I think Darren overall's been pretty good. I mean, obviously you have little hiccups once in a while, but
And that's.
I just
another-
don't, I don't want to waste Steve's time going out to get bids and having to struggle with this, and then we end up either with nothing or just sticking with it anyways. And
I'm fine with one.
Okay, we're gonna stick with what we have, I believe.
Okay, so I'll just solicit a proposal from Darren.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
tell them to treat us well.
And you just need consent to whether to renew.
Right,
You don't
because
need
we
us-
would bring back his proposal.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
Can I just touch on these other ones real quick here?
sure.
Utility Service Company, they do our water tank maintenance. We've, in the past, have a standing agreement with them, a written agreement, and it's basically been renewing automatically annually. It is somewhat expensive to have that service. And I've had a conversation with Ty and also Leighton, but basically, the question has become is, do we need that much of a service? I mean, we still need some service, but we don't necessarily have to have an annual agreement for the service that we probably need. And it's probably, in our budget, it's around a $40,000 item right now in our water fund. So this is, for both towers, we have two standing agreements. One of them, I believe it was signed in the month of August. The other one was in October. And I believe that's really, there is no other significant date that's stated in the agreements. So I'm just going to go by the contract year would be whenever those agreements expire, or when they were signed. Does that sound about right? I don't have any, I know you haven't seen them, but there was nothing else in them, so I'm guessing that we have 90 days before August and October respectively to give them notice that, okay, we're going to terminate it after this year, if that's what you guys would be open to doing. From a staff standpoint, that's what we're recommending.
To terminate.
And just use them as needed. The service has been good. I mean, we'd like to continue to utilize them as a contractor. We just don't necessarily feel that we have to have a contract in place anymore.
I guess Ty's not here, so I guess I'll use my opinion as a water operator. I think for sure this contract could be spread out probably over double the years. Basically, it's wash out and inspect every year, I think, and then wash out a tower every other year. I think is the way
I
it's
don't
set up.
remember. I would know, I don't know.
My personal, I think that can be spread out, being doubled, at least. I know there's towns out there that don't ever do it. And we have guys now who are on our staff that do climb up the water towers. Obviously, we have the Christmas lights up there. In order to do those, you have to go up there, and so it's getting kind of a visual inspection by our own guys once or twice a year anyways. And our towers, at least 3 years ago when I was there, are in good shape. We don't have no major issues, you know, there ain't rust and paint falling off, so. I'm just trying to give some insight,
So
I guess,
you feel that that would be okay?
I
Like you
feel
think, like we could just utilize them as needed?
100%, yeah. Like, I'm just trying to say at least double our length.
The length of time.
Like I said, I've been at other towns where they haven't done this at all, and they've had a tower for over 15 years, and then it's, you know, been fine. So, you know, and the 40,000 is a big savings, you know, like I said, even if we double it, that's still 20 grand a year. And then, you know, if you go a little farther, it's maybe even more than that.
Do you think it's more cost-effective, the work that they do under the maintenance contract versus just contracting with them to do a service to washout towers or whatever it might be? I mean, is
guess
the money savings there?
I can't speak, I mean, without getting an actual quote on what they would charge just to come do it if we asked them to. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still, if you spread it out, if you just do it every 5 years instead of every other year, even if it costs a little bit more of that time, I mean, you're still saving that money over
Sure.
the spread. You're spreading it out over more years. But like I said, without getting a quote, I guess I wouldn't. They'll maybe charge a little bit more just because they know it ain't coming in every year,
Right,
but.
right.
And I mean, at the end of the day, mostly what they do is they climb up there, they'll look at the paint and look at the water, which is all something that, I mean, I could go up there and do it. I mean, you guys could come up and do it too, I'm sure, you know, as long as you're not afraid of heights,
not
but I mean,
climbing
it
up
doesn't
there.
take, they're not going up there and, you know, non-destructive testing, they're not doing none of that.
But you said like washout, like that they wash it out?
They have to go inside a tank, yes. There is times when we have to go inside a tank to inspect it, and then there is some maintenance inside the tank too. So it's not just the exterior.
So a washout, usually they'll drain the water and then they'll go in there and just wash out the inside.
So we could just contract them to come do that every, whatever we feel, 4 years, 5 years instead of every other.
Correct.
Kind of the thought.
That'd be my
There.
thought, and I know since I was there, something that Ty and I started doing, and I think they still do it, is we'd overflow the towers every few months to get that stagnant water off, so that helps too.
Okay.
You know, so I think between Ty and the current water department, they're doing more on in-house to help
Okay.
do that, so.
So if it's a consensus, I guess, I don't know if I need a motion, but you can make a motion or a consensus, I think. You know, when it comes time here, we'll give notice to the company that we would want to not renew the contracts.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
The next two, or going quickly down here, trying to be quick. We have our farm rental agreements, Jacob Scholstrom, excuse me. He's the current party that we contract for the land that we have around that we own and farm. The current agreement expires at the end of this year. I know that in the past, we have gone out for quotes on that. We've opened it up, we've advertised it, and then we just open it up to anybody that wants to submit a quote. We don't generally go out there and solicit directly from somebody, we just advertise it. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Do the same thing, let Jacob know, and,
Yeah,
I mean, just
Yeah, I
because
mean,
he's a current, at least let him know it's coming up, but.
right, yeah. Okay. RS Fiber, just to let you know too, we have two agreements with them for each for one of our towers, our water towers. The east tower, the agreement currently is they pay rental for having an antenna up there. They pay $100 a month is what they pay us. We've had that agreement in place for a number of years. The other one the West Tower, we have a little bit of a unique agreement there. They don't pay specifically a rental fee to have an antenna up there. This was we agreed, or we entered an agreement with them that in reference to the marquee sign over at the library, the electronic sign, that they would provide service to that sign, and then they charge us a reduced rate for the service there. And so that's what we get from that. I should mention too, on the East Tower, you know, I mentioned that we could pay $100 a month. They also give us a 10% discount on internet service at city offices. So those two are also set up with a 90-day notice requirement if we choose to not continue those. At this point, I guess I'm not proposing that we would change anything, but I just want to let you know that those are coming up. Those are annual ones. And then lastly, just to mention Kirsch Real Estate for the Forever Young Senior Center. There again, it's just a 90-day notice if we want to leave that agreement. So that's all we have for this year coming up.
Okay. And you just need consensus, right?
Yeah,
So-
I think
Okay.
I got what I needed.
Then we're going to move on to 11H, Personnel Policy Amendment.
This amendment's in reference to the Minnesota paid leave that just took effect here on January 1st. All employers and employees are required to participate in the program. We do need to amend our personnel policy to incorporate this Minnesota paid leave into it. We actually are required to do so. Just wanted to point out a couple things, but the Personnel Committee did review this and are recommending approval of it. We basically utilized a template that the League of Minnesota Cities had drafted and just tweaked it a little bit, but basically, predominantly, this is their template. And they're drawing from the state statute. So it's really, it's coming right from the statute. The one things I wanted to just point out was what the council already approved back last year in the fall was to the premium, again, this is being administered by the state, specifically the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development is administering this insurance program. And the premiums that are required to be paid, the council did agree that the city would pay 50% and the employees would have to pay 50%. If an individual has an event where they're basically going to be out and they're utilizing this insurance program, they will be entitled to benefit from the state, but if the state does not basically reimburse them or make them whole as far as what their normally wage is, employees can use their unused vacation or sick leave for any wage replacement not covered by the state. And so that was something else that the council agreed to. So those are in here as well. The rest, I guess, is just, again, coming right from the state statute. So I guess I'll leave it at that. If there's any questions, happy to answer anything.
Does that run concurrently, or can it, with FMLA?
It's two separate programs.
Yep, but they can a lot of times run concurrently.
Right.
Because you wouldn't want someone to do 12 and then another 12.
Right.
And be out for 24.
I
This
believe,
new program, you actually have to be a working employee. You cannot be out with FMLA.
Nope.
You have to be currently working.
Yep, but you could still run programs concurrently.
In a given year, Linda's right, you can utilize them both in a given year, but at the max is 20 weeks versus 24 potentially. So you can, Minnesota paid leave is, an individual can qualify for 12 weeks, and you can also qualify for 12 weeks with family leave, but together you can only have 20 weeks.
So you can't run them concurrently, but the max is 20.
Correct.
So instead of,
Yes, right,
gotcha, okay.
right. And you have to have an event that's going to take you out of work for at least 7 days. So it's somewhat similar to short-term disability. Short-term disability is 8 days. So, and they have to provide a physician or a doctor's note to the city. again, this is a requirement.
Oh,
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the personnel policy amendment, adding the Minnesota paid leave section.
So moved.
Motion from Groko, do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eker, any questions or discussion?
just out of curiosity, as far as the police union, they're all understanding of that? I mean, that doesn't
Yes.
affect their,
Thank you for pointing that out. I did mention in my action sheet, I did give them notice, and there's a copy of the letter in your packet too, that, and they confirmed that they did receive the notice, but I have not received anything back from them.
yeah, I mean, you can't really say nothing, I mean, it is what it is, but,
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's state and-
so, I was just curious.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay, anything else from council, staff? Okay, we're going to, recess the meeting due to a closed session. The meeting shall be closed pursuant to Minnesota State Statute 13D.05, subdivision 3, to evaluate the performance review of Steve Halgett, our city administrator. So. Regular meeting.
So move.
Motion from Rose. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eker. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed say no. Motion carried.